I mean, that traffic jam is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You've got Roland Fenster and Mortaro now coming up behind Evans as well.
So we begin the final lap of action then here, down towards the first corner we go with Pascal Wehrlein, 2% of energy remaining. Buemi's got 3%, Cassidy with 3%, but it's all relatively even. Stevens in front. This is now due on a die time for Jeff then as he heads down towards the first corner. No moves being made there between these drivers as they all run nose to tail with one another. And the frustration is going to be evident on some of their faces, I'm sure, after this race. But Evans is driving so beautifully at the moment.
Look at the numbers up there at the top, down to 1%, and they're just balancing out. You'll see the numbers actually creep back up, and that is what I was saying before. They're charging the batteries under braking and putting energy back in. So they'll just be managing the gaps, managing their pace and their energy for this final lap. But here we go, Tom, into the Forest Hall.
Yeah, what a drive it has been from Pascal Wehrlein. 1% of energy remaining, but he has controlled this one from lights out to the checkered flag. Team Porsche have done an absolutely superlative job. And as he comes out of the Ferrol Sol for the final time, aims for the Peraltada. It is going to be first blood in 2024 for the Tag Heuer Porsche team. It is going to be a second victory in Mexico City for Pascal Wehrlein as he comes around the final corner to take the checkered flag and win the Mexico City E-Prix here at the Autodromo. Hermanos Rodriguez, Buemi comes home in second. It's Nick Cassidy in third. Max Günther with a superb fourth place for Team Maserati. And Mitch Evans does hold on to fifth place ahead of Verne, Hughes, Van Dorn, Dennis and Nato.
Mega drop. Very well done, very well done.
He's saving up his energy from turn 3 till turn 14 when nobody can overtake. And then he's just dumping all of the energy he's got in that one straight up to 18.
And the confidence in yourself that it takes to do that is incredible. And Jean-Eric absolutely nailing it. Mitch Evans, one more chance to make the stick to try and get second place. How much does he want to risk for that second place?
How high do you think the heart rate is in the Andretti garage at the moment? Not particularly that much, because Dennis is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. He's toying with them now. 10.5 seconds to the good. Here is the race leader just making his way through, but it's the battle for second that we need to keep a beady eye on further down the order. Cassidy in his final bit of attack mode. Just up the road from him is Mitch Evans. You've got Jean-Eric Verne in the mix there as well. And look at this there, Verne on the defensive line. Cassidy and Evans ready in pouncing distance. Evans closer than he's been before, but can he get good traction out of turn 17 and launch the attack in towards the chicane? He's so close, and it's all about this run down this long back straight. Is he going to be able to make a move? Surely Jeff's going to go for the defensive line, but here comes Mitch Evans sliding his way under braking into turn 18. He's running deep. Verne goes through. Dennis takes the lead and takes the victory as he comes to the timing line and takes the win of round 2 of the Diriyah E-Prix. But did Verne hold on to second? Yes, he did. Through the final corner, it's so close in terms of the energy, but Verne does hold on to second place, and Cassidy into third as well, ahead of Bird and Evans, who got mugged on that final lap by the McLaren as well. What a dramatic end to the race, and it is Jake Dennis who takes his first win of the season.
Get in. Woohoo! Yeah, boy! Oh, double figure win, first time for me. Yes!
Lost that lead pack by just a fraction.
So over the timeline we go to start the final lap of racing. We've got a yellow flag out here as well. Can't see exactly what that's all about. It's only a brief one. It goes away pretty okay.
It's Norman Nato.
It is, yeah, probably down at turn 18. I should imagine he's probably run on a little bit wide going through that corner, but it's Cassidy with the advantage. 3% of energy left, nothing really to worry about. Frank's down to 2%. It's going to be mightily close in terms of what they've got left, but Cassidy with an advantage, 0.6 of a second as it stands for now. Just had a notice on the timing screen as well. Jake Dennis, Mitch Evans under investigation for overtaking under yellow flags. So that'll be investigated after the race, I'm sure. So Cassidy pulling out an advantage. 1% of energy left between Cassidy and Franks. This is going to be a little bit tight towards the end of this one, but Cassidy pulling the pin and pulling out enough of a buffer to hold the race lead against Franks here.
Watch the energy go back up though when they break at the end of the straight.
Yeah, you can see the will regen and build up a bit of energy. Verline there just trying to pile the pressure onto the back of Sasha Fenestraz, but Nick Cassidy has controlled this one calmly at the front. He rounds the final corner for Jaguar TCS Racing to take the win in round 3 of the Diriyah Prix. It's Jaguar and Cassidy on top. Fright comes home in second. Ollie Rowland brings Nissan back onto the podium for the first time since Rome 2023. Hughes in 4th, Van Dorn in 5th. A double top 10 finish for Sasha Fenestraz as well, ahead of Verline, Vern, Gunther and Dennis.
You absolute beauty! Yeah! Nice one! Nice one!
Yes! Yes!
This is it. This is probably his biggest chance in the next lap. This is the last lap. They're starting the last lap, pulling out, trying to cool. But is he going to have a move, or is he going to be happy with second place and finishing on the podium?
Looks a little bit far back, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, no way through for him there, down to the first corner. You can see there Verline looking also to attack for that final place on the podium against Jake Dennis, but no moves being made in towards turn 1 and turn 2. Look, though, at Sam Bird looking for the outside line through 3. No way through for there. It's going to be all about the exit down this back straight and the run, maybe in towards turn 4 if Bird can invent something.
He's trying.
Looking for the move.
For the switch back, not enough.
He's parking the car on the middle of the corner there, isn't he? Mitch Evans, no way through for Sam Bird at this point.
2 more chances, I would say.
Yeah,
2 more chances. Turn 7, turn 10.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Let's see how this is going to play out then. You can see they're pretty even Stevens on energy. Bird just going down to 1%, but Evans not too far adrift. Evans is defending with every ounce of talent that he has got. We're side by side for third in the background as well here with Jake Dennis versus Pascal Verline. Dennis holding firm for now, but who is going to take the win of round 4 of the E-Prix? And look at Bird going for the outside. Surely he's not going to make that stick on Mitch Evans into turn 10. Bird's done it. Absolutely amazing from Sam Bird. He comes around the final corner to win here in Sao Paulo. Sam Bird takes his first victory since 2022. His first for Neon McLaren. Evans in second and Rowland onto the podium on the final lap. That was absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable stuff. What an overtake from Sam Bird. Pulled that out of nowhere.
Bird is back. Bird is back. Yes, mate. Yes.
Coming in towards the final couple of corners. Just able to hold on to 5th place for now was Edo Mortara. We're side by side for the race lead down to the start, finish straight and in towards turn 1. Mortara, Rowland trying to attack there on Max Gunther and looking for the inside into turn 3. No way through for the Nissan driver. Wants to take victory on home soil on the final lap as we come through turn 4. Norman Nato picks up a 5-second time penalty for that collision with Robin Freins a couple of laps ago. But we ride on board here with Max Gunther. He has got the clear track in front of him. Can he take Maserati's first win since Jakarta last year?
Well, Oliver Rowland, he's running out of places to get a move done now as we come through turn 9. This is a bit sketchy. Rowland's down to 1% on his energy, so if he needs to make a move count, he needs to do it now.
Oh, defending there is Max Gunther from Oliver Rowland. Keep an eye out for Dennis and Da Costa in the background. They'll be ready to pounce should these two in front come to blows. Through into the middle sector we go into turn 15. We've seen moves being made. Look at Oliver Rowland on the outside there with Max Gunther. We're side by side for 3rd place as well. Just Dennis holding firm as we come in towards the final sector of the lap. It's advantage Max Gunther. Rowland sitting there in 2nd place, but they're down to 0.1% energy. It is going to be absolutely critical to the checkered flag. Gunther's just got enough in his pocket as he comes through the final couple of corners. Maximilian Gunther on the streets of Tokyo takes Maserati's first win since Jakarta last year. What a drive from the German. Oliver Rowland takes 2nd place and Jake Dennis on the podium in 3rd position ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa and Pascal Verline, the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches. In 4th and 5th place, Mortara got 6th at the checkered flag from Nico Müller. Then Cassidy, Freins and Sete Camara completing the top 10 point scorers. What an absolute joy for Maserati and for Maximilian Gunther here on the streets of Tokyo.
Maximilian Gunther, a race winner in Formula E for the 2024 season.
In qualifying, well, we've got it right in the race.
It's great, isn't it? It's great to see they've bolted, haven't they? Verne just doesn't have the confidence the energy, all the performers to go with them. So this is a roll of the dice between Costa and Roland for who's going to win this.
And Dennis shouldn't take any risks because we've got that penalty coming, of course, for Jeff here. So Dennis just needs to stay where he is, hope he doesn't come vulnerable to Gunther. The battle is for the win. Look at this, Gunther is going to get fourth, that's for sure. But up front, Roland in the slipstream behind Da Costa.
Yeah, this is looking pretty close here. We are looking like we're going to be 6 from 6 in Formula E in 2024. Through into turn 7 we go, on board with Antonio Felix da Costa, who's got Oliver Rowland very, very close for company behind, but Rowland not within touching distance to try and launch an attack on the brakes into turn 8. Into that corner we go, and no room at the end for him for the time being. The yellow flag is out for some reason on the track. That's down at turn 7, so someone's come a cropper on the final stages of this one, and it is Antonio Felix da Costa who is commanding this as we head into the final sector in the Tag Heuer Porsche. Through into turn 12, and unless da Costa makes a mistake, unless Roland can try and invent something and maybe go for a last gasp lunge at the final corner, I think this is going to go the way of the Portuguese driver, Antonio Felix da Costa. He's been in all the headlines this week, but he comes around the final corner in the Tag Heuer Porsche to win the Mazzano E-Prix. A fantastic drive from Antonio Felix da Costa. 6 winners from 6 races in 2024. Oliver Rowland in second place, and Jake Dennis up from 17th on the grid onto the podium. Absolutely fantastic. Tommaso Volpe, a 4th successive podium for Oliver Rowland there. Comes to start the final lap of action then here. Look at the gap that Oliver Rowland has picked off from Pascal Wehrlein, 1.4 seconds, but it's not over for the final place on the podium. Dennis, slightly tighter line there into the first corner. Nico Müller sits just behind in his wheel tracks. Likewise then, Nick Cassidy ready to try and take advantage if anything goes wrong.
That's where the battle is. I think it's all settled out front. So you had Roland 6/10 quicker than Wehrlein and that final lap. So I'm going for Cassidy for 3rd.
Roland's got a problem.
Roland's got a problem. Is he running out of energy on the final lap of racing here? What has happened to Oliver Rowland? Head-in-hand sign for Tommaso Volpe for the team principal. Delight for Porsche and for Pascal Wehrlein. In the most dramatic circumstances on the final lap, Oliver Rowland has run out of energy here in Mazzano. So a 3rd place battle for the podium comes to a 2nd place battle. These drivers will know that because Dennis has just passed him. Likewise Müller, likewise Nick Cassidy. It's going to come down to the final couple of corners, and Pascal Wehrlein, in the most dramatic of circumstances, has been gifted the victory here. Here comes Nick Cassidy looking to the inside. Müller defends into turn 12. Dennis is just about going to be able to hold on to this one, I think, into the final couple of corners, unless these 2 drivers go for a lunge. Dennis defends. Here comes Nick Cassidy on the inside of Nico Müller through into the final corner. We come to the line. Wehrlein wins in Mazzano. Who gets 2nd and 3rd onto the podium? Dennis gets 2nd, and Cassidy takes 3rd from Nico Müller right at the end of the race. What a dramatic conclusion to round 7 here in Mazzano. Oliver Rowland out of energy on the final lap, and Pascal Wehrlein wins.
First double winner of the season. First double winner of the season. Woohoo!
Cassidy's definitely backed away. He had more energy, but he's just dropped into a very comfortable position there.
Final lap. I wonder if he's going to chase fastest lap, David. He's got more energy. He's gone for a gap here to try and go for fastest lap, I think, Cassidy, in the fast lap.
Yeah, it's working out quite nicely here for Jaguar. They've played an absolute blinder with the strategy. You can see there the energy remaining, 4% for Evans, 6% for Cassidy. Nothing really to worry about for pretty much everybody up and down the field. The driver who's got the least amount, you would say, is Dan Tickton, who's down there on 2% in the ERT, but we know that car has struggled with its efficiency over the course of the season so far. So, nose to tail action. You can feel something beginning to bubble up here between these drivers in the mid-pack, but you just want them to try and have a send here on this final lap, but they're all being remarkably sensible for Formula E.
James Barclay is going to chew away any fingernails he has. This is on the cusp of a very big result for the team.
Would be Jaguar's first victory in the Principality here as well. They won as a powertrain manufacturer in 2023 with Nick Cassidy last year. And I have to say, Nick Cassidy has played the team game absolutely perfectly. It's not given us quite the grandstand finish that we were hoping for, to see the 2 Jaguars tussling together. But as we come through the swimming pool section, we see Mitch Evans making his way into the final couple of corners. And what a drive it has been from the Kiwi. He has controlled this one absolutely perfectly, with a fair bit of help from his teammate and indeed the entire Jaguar team as he comes around. Anthony knows it's been 3 podiums in the last 3 seasons, but never on the top step. But it is now here in Monaco. Mitch Evans who takes victory in the Principality. The Kiwi is on the top step of the podium for the very first time. It's a Jaguar 1-2 here as well, ahead with Nick Cassidy in 2nd place. Stoffel Van Dorn, the final position on the podium, in 3rd place, ahead of Jean-Eric Verne, Pascal Wehrlein inside the top 5. And then Roland, Da Costa, Fenestraz, Günther and Nato in the top 10.
Seconds of a gap over Jean-Eric Verne. The question for me is, can Oliver Rowland muscle his way past Jean-Eric Verne?
On the brakes we go, in towards turn 2, then on the outside goes Wehrlein, goes for a lunge, lock up on the brakes there for Mitch Evans, just about manages to get the car stopped. Roland parks the car in the middle, on the inside is Evans, on the outside there is the Porsche of Antonio Felix da Costa, on the inside there is Wehrlein, just about manages to make it through turn 4. It's so close between these drivers. And as we come into the braking zone, here comes Oliver Rowland for 2nd place with 3 wide in the background as well. Side by side we go for the podium places between Verne and Rowland, and side by side for 4th place there between Evans, Wehrlein and Da Costa. On the brakes we go into turn 9. Evans on the inside, nearly into the back of Oliver Rowland, but just about manages to get the car stopped. So, coming into the final couple of corners, it's anybody's guess as to how this is going to work out. Evans looking to the inside, Rowland's trying to challenge here. Up the road though is Nick Cassidy, who took victory 12 months ago, and he wins the Berlin E-Prix. Fantastic drive from Nick Cassidy. It's going to be Jean-Eric Verne who finishes in 2nd, Oliver Rowland on the podium once again in 3rd place, and it is Mitch Evans in 4th, Wehrlein in 5th, Da Costa in 6th. 2 wins in 2 races for Jaguar. What a fantastic performance, what a drive from Nick Cassidy, and once again what a strategic masterclass from Jaguar TCS Racing. As we begin the final lap, it's Antonio Felix da Costa who's got a fantastic advantage, 1.3 seconds and 2% energy remaining. Down into turn 2 we go. Cassidy there in 2nd place. He's going to have the mother and father of all final laps. It's a battle for the final place on the podium where it's going to kick off there. Wehrlein slightly down on energy compared to Dennis.
Well, I think the question is, what's Dennis going to do, and when is he going to do it? It's got to be into this next corner or turn number 9.
So, on board we ride here with Taylor Barnard, who's got a grandstand view of all the action that's about to unfold in front of him. Into turn 6 we go. Defensive line there from Pascal Wehrlein. He's going to try and stop Dennis going past with the switchback on the inside, and does so. Good defensive driving there from Wehrlein.
And again, Dennis is going again on the outside of 9.
Trying to get the cutback, but I'll tell you, Pascal Wehrlein's just stopping that a little bit longer at the apex, so he cannot get the cutback.
Just a handful of corners now remaining. Antonio Felix da Costa, well, he hasn't won since Cape Town 2023. It was snatched away from him in Mazzano, but he rounds the final corner. Antonio Felix da Costa, it's a DAC attack in Germany as he wins for TAG Heuer Porsche. Cassidy finishes in 2nd, Roland in 3rd, Wehrlein just off the podium in 4th. Jake Dennis comes over the line in 5th position ahead of Mitch Evans, and Jehan Deruvala got the better of Taylor Barnard right at the end of that race as well. Joel Eriksson also in the points in 9th place, with Jean-Eric Verne bookending it as well. Inside Team Nissan, it is a 6th podium of the season for Oliver Rowland here. And it is absolute delight for TAG Heuer Porsche. What a perfect job from Antonio Felix da Costa. To Verne.
I think Nick Cassidy can go flat out in his final lap.
Well, we're on the final lap then now. Lap 29 out of 29. It's Wehrlein that leads. Mitch Evans then going for the outside line into the first corner. Dennis versus Verne. Once again down into T1, but what's happening for the lead? Evans has taken over from Wehrlein. He leads in the Jaguar as we come down through turn 2 and turn 3. But is he going to hold it to the end of this one? That's the question. And can Cassidy do anything to try and challenge for this victory?
What an overtake there from Mitch Evans, right round the outside of turn 1. He's been eyeing that up the whole race. He's put himself in a good position, needs to defend now, but the energy that Nick Cassidy has got, has he got time to deploy it?
Here comes Cassidy. He's trying to go around the outside of Wehrlein. It's very close in between them in turn 6. Wehrlein still on the inside here as we ride on board with Nick Cassidy. Cassidy really needs to get aggressive. He can feel the victory slipping through his fingers. 0.9% of energy left for Pascal Wehrlein at this stage in this one. Cassidy's got more expendable energy, but has he got time to be able to use it? It's Jaguars first and third at the moment as we head into the final sector. It's surely going to be one at a time unless we get a dive bomb for the lead. On the outside goes Nick Cassidy for third place. Wehrlein tries to defend. Da Costa versus Rowland as well for fourth place. Side by side they go through the final corner. Mitch Evans is going to take the win in Shanghai. Evans does it. Second place for Wehrlein, and third goes to Nick Cassidy, with Rowland taking fourth at the checkered flag. What a dramatic conclusion here in China. A fantastic E-Prix, and it's Jaguar on top once again. Mitch Evans takes his second victory of the season.
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, his main championship rival is out of the game today. He's in P4. You know, the guys in front aren't in the championship fight, and he looks like he's doing all he needs to do to keep extending his advantage. The one that's really impressed me today is Norman Nato.
Yeah, he's having a phenomenal run, isn't he, Norman Nato, in this race? And you saw Jake Hughes there, Billy, just pulling out the slipstream down the start finish straight.
I wonder whether that was just to manage those temperatures that we've spoken about. He just pulled out of the dirty air into some clean air just to get that fresh air through the car in order to cool it as much as possible going on to the final lap.
Is that to manage those temperatures the engineer had told him he was safe on?
He's obviously just very wanting to get that podium. He doesn't want anything to stand in the way of it.
Well, it's still very much up for grabs here between Da Costa and Hughes. Just one mistake could cost Da Costa victory here, and Hughes knows that. They're down to the last 1% remaining of energy, but unless Da Costa fluffs his lines, it's going to come the way. But there is a bit of lap traffic in front as well that could potentially come into the fore here with Da Costa versus Hughes, so it's not over yet for victory as we head into the final sequence of corners. I think they're just going to be okay as Da Costa heads down into the braking zone of turn 10. Hughes sitting in second and Norman Nato in third. What a fantastic, commanding, controlled drive from Antonio Felix Da Costa. He comes around the final corner to take victory here in Shanghai. It's Da Costa's second win of the season. Jake Hughes takes his first ever podium in Formula E, and Norman Nato coming over the line in third place as well for a podium finish here. His last was at Rome in 23. Jean-Eric Vergne there quite wide. That might leave him under threat from Edo Mortara into the first corner. 2 laps now remaining as we see Cassidy just holding on to that race lead. You can see him driving the defensive lines though. Evans isn't going to give this up. There's nothing coming through saying that these two are going to have to finish in the formation that they sit now.
Yeah, this is what I find interesting about Jaguar's approach to this, because in theory, if Mitch Evans isn't really in contention, they could have used him as a buffer, allowed Nick Cassidy to keep the minimum speeds up and not have to use these defensive lines, which is just costing him time and keeping Da Costa and Frein still in contention.
At the end of the day, from the team's perspective, 1-2 is perfect, whichever way around it is. And it was not necessarily Nick Cassidy's fault that Evans has lost his front wing.
Well, the thing is, Evans isn't going to finish 1 and 2, is he? Because, of course, that's 5-second time penalty to consider in this one. So, though, wide there for Cassidy. That's a mistake. He's off onto the grass. He's lost it. Evans and Cassidy very close to one another, and Cassidy spins it round. What a disaster for the championship contender. The rest of the field goes sweeping on through, and Nick Cassidy has thrown away the victory here in Portland.
This is what I was alluding to. The fact that Nick Cassidy was having to defend and he was having to look in his mirrors, he's more likely to make mistakes. If Mitch Evans gave him a bit of breathing room, the pressure would be less on. He's just made a huge critical mistake for the championship right there.
So it's now Mitch Evans that leads the race, but of course he's got a 5-second penalty to serve. I would not want to be in the debrief after this race for Nick Cassidy in the Jaguar TCS Racing camp, because that is an absolute disaster for the championship leader.
Wehrlein, though, is dropped out of the points. He's now down in 12th, so Wehrlein's not going to be able to pick up anything out of this.
None of the championship contenders making inroads on Nick Cassidy. He might get away with it in a certain aspect, but Da Costa, someone who's won 2 of the last 3 races, he's on for another victory.
Antonio Felix Da Costa having a quite fantastic resurgence to form. Evans is going to come through these final few sweeping corners. He knows, though, that it's he's got that penalty, 5 seconds to serve, and Antonio Felix Da Costa, though he will finish second on the road as we come out of the final corner, it'll be Evans who takes the checkered flag first, but it is Antonio Felix Da Costa who comes across the line to take yet another victory. 3 in the last 4 races for Antonio Felix Da Costa. Robin Freins in second, Jean-Eric Vergne in third place as well, Mortara in 4th, Muller in 5th position. And again, it is Porsche who power to the top here in Portland, with Antonio Felix da Costa taking top honours. They are absolutely delighted. Jaguar and Nick Cassidy will be very, very disappointed. Let's have another look here, Alan.
Yeah, he just went in, and it was actually nothing to do with Evans. He just went in tight, got lost the rear, and then spun around. It was purely and simply, it looks like a driver's mistake. Nothing else.
Versus Freint as we come to the timing line. Antonio Felix da Costa driving for his third win in succession. Robin Freint's driving for his first win of the season. Down the start finish straight we go into turn one. No way through for Freint here for now, but he's very, very close onto the back of the Porsche.
This is good acceleration coming out, so this is the area where Robin Freins needs to try and attack, because Antonio Felix da Costa will try to conserve as much energy so he can use everything down the back straight, which is the last area that Freins will have an opportunity to overtake.
Yeah, it needs to be now or never. The next few corners setting up into the entry of turn 10 for Robin Freins, and he wants to take the victory here.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic. I was shaking in the England game this morning. I am shaking now on the final lap of racing here in Portland. It is da Costa versus Freins for the victory as they come down this back straight. Da Costa's had a fantastic exit out of turn 7. Freins, unless he has a late dive bomb to the inside, is not going to be close enough to make a move. He needs to hope for a mistake for Antonio Felix da Costa through turns 10 and 11. Freins is right on his rear wing as we come through into turn 12. It's going to be a drag to the line here in Portland, but surely it's going to go the way of Antonio Felix da Costa. 3 wins in a row in season 10. Da Costa has done it. Robin Freint in second, and Mitch Evans back on the podium in third place as well. Pascal Wehrlein consolidates his championship with 4th place after a non-score for Nick Cassidy down in 13th position. But what a fantastic race. What a season in the second half that Antonio Felix da Costa is putting together as well.
An unbelievably close finish, because the top 3 in the championship will be covered by less than 10 points going into the final day of the championship.
We're in for a great day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely game on, isn't it? You can see Wehrlein there holding on to the lead. Evans close, but not close enough to mount an attack at the moment. Through into the slope we go for the final time. So Porsche leads Jaguar, leads Mahindra, leads Andretti Porsche, leads Nissan. Through out of turn 9 we go. Nose to tail running, sort of quietened down on this closing lap of the race, but it has been a very, very busy one indeed. And what a drive it has been from Pascal Wehrlein. What a strategy here, Andre.
Amazing. They did everything right. It didn't look good at some point, but then they turned it around, and to come out in front with these 2 attack modes, that what gave him the win if he puts it in P1 now, which looking pretty good. All Mitch can do now is put pressure for an eventual mistake.
So a few corners then remain for Pascal Wehrlein. The pressure has been on him all weekend, and he has delivered. He comes around turn 19. 1 more corner to go for Pascal Wehrlein. It'll be victory number 3 in 2024. But importantly, it's the championship lead going into the final round of the season. Pascal Wehrlein takes the victory for Tag Heuer Porsche from Mitch Evans and Sebastian Buemi. It is game on for the title on Sunday here in London. But there's penalties to the side as well. Fenestraz and Dennis are going to drop down the order. Cassidy will be classified in 7th place at the checkered flag, consolidating the loss in the championship to a smaller margin than it would have been otherwise. And that means we've got 3 drivers realistically in with a title fight with 1 race left of the season.
Keep slowing everyone down.
That's going to be the most disheartening message that Mitch Evans will ever have to receive. Over the timing line we go to begin the final lap. Oliver Rowland is leading the race. Wehrlein is in second. He's not going to go for the win for this one. He's surely going to play it safe and sit in second position. But a deflating end to a championship challenge then for Mitch Evans and for Jaguar. They will be second and third if it stays as it is for now.
As Andre said, it's been decided by missing the attack mode twice.
I can't believe it's
unbelievable.
For both drivers, heartbreaking. I mean, Nick couldn't do anything about it, and yeah, Mitch is going to bite himself for a long time there.
Well, Pascal Wehrlein, he started karting with a dream, like all young racing drivers, to one day be crowned as a world champion, and he became the youngest ever driver to win a DTM title, and then Formula One beckoned for him, didn't it? and he was cast out and he was spat aside. He had to find a new home in Formula E, and he has found that home. He had to build the foundations, first of all with Mahindra, then latterly with Porsche. He's come so close on quite a few occasions, and now it is just 2 corners from home for the young German Honshot. Through the final couple of turns, out of turn 20, and Pascal Wehrlein for Porsche becomes the 2024 Formula E World Champion here in London. Oliver Rowland takes victory, Wehrlein in second, and Mitch Evans in third place. Well, what a dramatic conclusion to the championship, and Pascal Wehrlein takes his first ever Formula E world title with Tag Heuer Porsche. What an end, and what delight for them, what disappointment for Jaguar, for Cassidy, for Evans, and Rowland taking the victory as well.
Yep, well done, mate. What a race, what a race, what a race, mate. Well done, well done, well done. You deserve this one, mate. Well done. Amazing job, man.
So, Wehrlein makes his way back through into the pit lane. Let's hear some team radio.
Oh, man. What did we just do?
Soleil, Dennis, world champion!
Pascal, what a race, man. You deserve much. World champion, man. World champion.